Okay, back to Majik tutorials. Today we're going to go over some further tweaking, a little bit more in depth. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to open up our VirtualBox here. Okay, and let's get our operating system started. Go ahead and minimize that out of the way. Enter, so go ahead and move forward. So at least you can see what's going on. Okay, and our test dummy password, we got EN123. And we're booting right up. That's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and go full screen. And we'll just give it a minute. It'll catch up. Yep, I don't know if you can tell on the video, but auto resize guest display is selected. Go down again. Let's see. It takes a minute for everything to boot up, so it starts. There we go. So it starts auto resizing. Now we'll go full screen mode. And boom. There we go. Alright. Can't even tell we're on a virtual machine now. So, let's go ahead and fix the icons. There we go. Alright, so when we left, we have just the mate terminal here, which is our plain terminal. Okay. And that's fine, but we're not going to use that right now. What we're going to do is we're going to install two additional ones. Synoptic Manager will get us there. Let's see, let me in 1, 2, 3. We'll test dummy's password. Okay, so first we're going to install something called terminology. Actually, there we go. Make sure I spell it right. It's like termin as in terminal, but then it's ology. Okay. And here it is right here. Now you can see I've already installed it, but you would just select it. Like this one, you would say mark for installation, and then hit apply. That's all you do to install it, okay? Then we're going to look for Terminator. And there you go. So you install that. Alright, and again, select it, and then you come over here and hit apply, and it will install your apps. Okay, and it's pretty easy to install from the package manager, so I'm not really going in depth into that unless someone has some questions. You can put them in the comments below, and I will definitely try my best to respond as soon as possible. But meantime, let's go to our terminal drawer, and we're going to add our extra terminals here that are kind of special. So we're going to add, there we go, system tools. So let's add terminology, grab the icon, bring it up here, drop it. Then we're going to add terminator, grab the icon, grab it up here, drop it. And here we go. Now if you want to, you can add an extern or a root terminal, but yeah, I don't even know why they have a root terminal. In my opinion, you don't really need it. So, alright, and here's a way to start HTOP. You might remember I showed you that, I believe. I may be wrong. But this is a terminal application that basically shows you everything going on in your system, and you can select an item and kill it if you want. And there's several things you can do here. And yes, it's mouse interactive. Notice I can click on quit, and it's gone. Now, you can also open that, that's all we're showing you, open that inside a terminal by typing the name of the app, HTOP. Hit enter, and then there we are. Now in this case, since I opened the app inside a pre-existing terminal, when I hit quit, it just goes away. It doesn't take away my terminal. Alright, so let's take a look at the new terminals we have and why they're advantageous. We'll start with terminology, which is my favorite of these two, by the way, for some reason, I don't know why. Little tiny window, you can always make it bigger if you need to, okay. Alright, oops. And as you notice, you can graphically select within this terminal, which is pretty cool for copy paste. Now, you're probably going, well, why did he go so wide with this thing? Well, I'm going to show you. Very, very handy feature about these two special terminal apps. Right click. And once I right click, you see I get a GUI display over here. GUI, GUI, stands for Graphical User Interface. And you see the title, it's a bash window, it's a bash shell. So I'm going to go, let me set the title. HTOP window. Okay. And look at there. Now it says HTOP window. I'm going to right click again and look at this cool thing here. Split vertically. Nice. So now look at what I have. I have two different windows. So in this one, notice it says HTOP when I'm in this window. I'll go to this one, it's the brand new bash shell. So we'll go back to this one in HTOP and let's go ahead and put HTOP in there. Here we go. Okay, now over here I can do pretty much whatever else I need to do. So if I want to list a directory, ls for list, there you go. If I want to list it with permissions, ls-l, okay. If I want to list every file in there, including hidden files, ls-a for all. And there you go, see the little ones with the dots and all too, those are normally hidden. But see, now they show up. But see this? I'm doing this all within the windows here. And look, I can even go, let me horizontally split this one so I can do something else down here. Oh, sometimes it will kind of goof. You just have to click away on one of the others and then back again. And see, there you go. Alright, so, and I want to exit that window, I can just do exit. And if I want to close this one, I can do quit. And then I go, well, maybe I'll exit this window. But see, it only exits the terminal you're in. Each one works independently, but they work together. Comes in very handy when you're doing work. And this one, the Terminator, is very similar. If I right-click here, I can split horizontally. I can right-click and split vertically. Zoom the terminal. In preferences, you have quite a few things here. Lay out your profiles. Cool things about the other one I like to, now you can do a transparent background on here if you like. I normally like a transparent background because if I'm working over a browser page where I have to keep an eye on what I'm reading behind, like instructions for installation, well, there you go. I can see behind it as I type it. I don't have to copy and paste everything if I want to. Sometimes it makes things easier, okay? So let's close, yes, close all terminals. Now, here's the cool thing about the terminology that I like. You recall I said I tend to like this one better. Well, because it does something that the old school terminal windows used to be able to do, and many of them can't anymore. If I click on settings here, oh my goodness, at first, may I just say, look at all the freaking settings. I mean, you can customize everything on here. The font size, see how tiny it is? My old eyes, I'm 51, I need to see a little bit. There we go. Now I can read that sucker, see? You know, so, yeah, maybe I just, there we go. Themes, I actually have themes, I can say. So, this is the default one. Maybe I like the black one better. You know, I might like this one. So, you know, there's just some cool things you can do. Uh-oh. Looks like we caused a freeze there clicking around so much so quick. But that's okay, because I can show you another tool that we installed from the applet. Remember, add to panel, widget, add to panel. We went here, and on the last tutorial we added this force quit. Oh, and it's right there, see? Well, now's a good opportunity, because see, it's kind of frozen. And I'm already here, so I click on it, and it tells you what to do. It gives you like a little crosshair. I don't know if you can see it on the video. Put it right over the little broken square. Maybe you can see it. It says click on a window to force the application to quit, or press escape if you want to cancel. So I put my crosshair over the frozen terminal, click on it, and it says you want to force this to quit? Yeah, force quit. Boom. It's no longer a problem. I can go and reopen it if I want to. So go back into settings. Just like background. And this is what I was telling you about. The old school ones did this. You had no background to start with, but then you can put a background in. Let me take away the transparency. You can tell what I'm talking about. See, isn't that cool? So you can actually have an image background, and we can customize this a little further. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So first off, we need to find exactly where the backgrounds are for this. And they make that really easy for you. So right click, get your menu, your old GUI menu, hit settings, click on background, and see, you can change the path of where your backgrounds are. Now I'm going to leave the path where it is. But see here, user share, terminology, backgrounds. Okay, well, it's easy enough. So we'll do this. And remember what I was just telling you how this comes in handy? Well, we're going to use it now. I'm going to split it vertically. Okay, so I can kind of work over here and work over here at the same time. So now I'm going to back out into the main root directory. See, it has just a slash. Okay, I'm going to clear the clutter by simply typing the word clear and hit enter. Now, I want to go into, where did it tell me again? Does anybody remember? Oh, if you forget, you just right click. Backgrounds. Here's your path, user, share, and look what I can do here. Copy this, Control C. Okay, put down there. Then I go back here, and I go CD, Control Shift V. You have to use that shift when you copy and paste from and to a terminal, or to and from a terminal. Anywhere else, it's normally Control C, Control V. But you have to add that shift key when it's in the terminal. Okay, so I'm going to CD directly to that folder. Now I hit enter. I'm there. Hit list, and there's the texture and the Mystic that it gives us. So it has blank. Remember, it gives us the option of no background, and then Mystic, and then the texture background. Okay, so we want to add some more to there. So now let's grab something. Let's see here. Now you can grab wallpapers and other places if you need to, but we're going to. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go grab some. Let's do that. We're going to go to a new desktop, our workspace, and then we're going to open up. Remember, we have our browsers up here for quick grabbing. I'll just grab the Chromium. Okay. And Chromium opens. There we go. I'm going to hit the little plus sign. Well, we haven't used it yet, that's right, so we shouldn't have anything here. Okay, so now we're going to do a search. By the way, just so people know, because I've done tech support and this drove me absolutely nuts. Pardon the noise here for a second, I have to adjust the mic. There we go. But this used to drive me absolutely nuts, and the thing is that people do not understand the difference between the address bar and the search bar. Whether it says type URL here or not, don't do it. This is not an address bar. This is going to give you a whole page of search results. This can do a search also, but if you put the exact address up here in the address bar, it will go straight to that site. Okay? So when you're typing an address, do that. In fact, just type in that bar all the time. Just pretend like this one isn't here, because you can search from this one and you can put in direct URLs from up here. So that's the best one to type in. So anyway, let me see. Let's type in hacker wallpaper. See what kind of wild fantasy stuff we come up with. Oh goodness. Anonymous is just everywhere, aren't they? Shoutouts to Anonymous. They may do some things we don't all agree with, but they have a lot of positive reasons for doing things they do. So, not condoning what they do, just saying. Anyway, here we can do the Elite Hacker window. How's that? See something there. We'll save that one. Okay, and just grab a few here real quick. Let's see. Oh, from the old original Hackers movie. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. If you haven't, go look it up. In fact, I believe it's, you can usually find it like on Netflix or YouTube or something like that. See a nice little anarchy symbol. That'd be good. Anarchist. That's kind of interesting. These are mostly, black and white. Let's get some other interesting stuff here. Let's see. Well, that would be, you have to picture, how would this look in a terminal window? Like, oh, gotta get this one, right? Okay, let's see, glance a little bit more. Oh, I love this one. This is one of my favorites. And I love this quote. It's hilarious. You'll see that one at the top of my Maui site. Yeah, it's cool, but we don't want that one. We can even do something like this. This is kind of cool. Okay, a little too dark. Oh, this is hilarious. These are just really fun to have. Don't want people touching your stuff when you walk away. Boy, put one of these official things in the background. It scares the hell out of them. Let's see. No. I like that one. Nice, rich blues. I do like blue. You'll find out I use a lot of blues. Blues and blacks a lot. But I digress. Here's a very good world image one. It's kind of like a brushed or hatched look. That will actually come out pretty good, I believe. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. A matrix one. Is it better? No, we don't want the little logo up there. Oh, yes, and if we've seen Mr. Robot, we all know this emblem, right? Let's see if we can find a better one. This one looks pretty good. Yeah. Let's save that one. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, gotta do it again from Mr. Robot. Okay, so that's quite a few. I don't think, yeah, we don't do that. That was interesting though, isn't it? Lots of good images, man. Oh my goodness, look at this. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. We gotta save that one too. Alright, so let me close this before I go find more, because I can go through these all day. If you're like me, you'll do that. You have to close it. Force yourself. Alright, so I'll go to places here, and of course this went straight to downloads. So, just kind of open this up a little bit. Alright, oh, one of them dissed us here. It's terrible. Gave me the HTML page instead. We can't use that. Whenever I install that, by the way, remember I installed these two. If I get it from an outside web source, I download the zip file too. I don't just install it. And I'll go over that in a few minutes because we're going to grab another file here in our next tutorial that we'll go over. But what I will do is I will create a folder here and it'll say installs. Okay. And then we can take those two files and put them in there. Then I'll just drop that in my home directory for safekeeping. Very important to keep things organized right from the get-go. The first thing you want to do is when you start tweaking is organize your stuff as you tweak it. So once it's all set up, it's organized how you want to do it. You know exactly where your downloads go, where your JPEGs go, where your videos go, where you keep your documents, where you put installed files, all that stuff. Don't decide it as you go, because if you do, you'll end up with a mess, and then you're going to wish you hadn't done that, because if it bothers you enough, like it does me, if I do that, I end up reinstalling and starting all over. You work much quicker, and everything works much more efficiently, and it's easier to use if you organize it right from the get-go. Alright, so we don't want to move all these files from downloads. There's nothing else in there but our images. So we can do a quick grab. So I'll come back over here, and we're already in the image file. So we're going to do sudo cp. Now sudo is super user do. That's what it stands for. Okay, it makes you temporarily God on the computer. Alright, super admin, whatever you want to call it. Cp is for copy. Alright, so sudo copy. And we're going to tell it to copy /home / test is our, yeah, it's test, and then / downloads, there we go, and we want everything, so you do that with an asterisk, okay, and then we're going to do space, and we're going to do / user. You don't actually have to type this path in, but I kind of want you guys to get used to. I can't talk and type at the same time. Sorry. There we go. I want you guys to get used to what you're doing here. In other words, I'm doing a little more work than I need to, just so you understand what's going on. So super user do copy everything in the downloads directory to this backgrounds directory, but you have to put the path to where it's at. See, I want you to get used to doing this. Then you hit enter. Ask roll test dummy's password. Let me in 1 2 3, and boom. If you get no error or anything here, then you did good. Okay, so let's go check here. Alright, so let's see, downloads, a little more going so it doesn't think it's documents, and let's do a list of downloads. Alright, so everything's still there. Why? Because we did a copy, we didn't move. Alright, and there's a reason I did a copy too, because we're going to find double uses for those. So now we're going to go back over here, and we're going to do a list in this directory, ls. And look at there. We have our images, plus a couple images that it also already had. So now that we have all this, let's right click, settings, and background. Look at all the background images we have now. See, so like we can, let's choose this one. And then that's going to be bright, so it'll be hard to read the text. So that's another reason why you want to go. Let me get it just a little translucent. I'll go down to maybe 40%, 35. Look at that. Now, this one was lesser created, so it didn't change it right away. Here we go. So yeah, it's got the nice little skull in the background, but I can still read my stuff. Now, if this is hard on your eyes, you find you a different one. Like, let's see. We could go with the NSA wallpaper if we wanted to. In fact, that one you may not even need to have translucent. Well, yeah, you kind of still do. Interesting, huh? Okay, so let's put a reasonable background on there. Here's a good one. I actually kind of like that one. We go translucent with it. Or maybe... Here we go. I like that. Our elite hacker. Clear. Let me see it all. There it is. Alright, so we learned how to install from Package Manager our 2 additional multi-window terminals, terminal applications. We learned a little bit about how to use them, specifically the terminology one, because that's just a favorite of mine. It just has a lot more features and it's more versatile, but both of them work well. And we've gone over tweaking the terminal a little bit. So on our next one, we're going to go into super tweaking, so you can see some really cool things in your terminal. So until next time, thanks for joining us, and you have a wonderful day.